Every night in my
Fucking knew
dreams, I see
it.
you, I feel you.
Oh
That
shit.
is how I know you. Play the hits.
Since we tried to play this the other day, I didn't say it, but I was fucking waiting for that intro.
You knew it was going to
I
happen.
knew it. I knew it was fucking coming. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Hey, it's Sparks.
Sparks. Oh shit.
Oh,
How's
yeah,
it
Sparks,
going?
we owe you an explanation. We suck.
Well, I've had moving and other things going on in my life. It's been kind of crazy, but yeah, it's. I feel like everyone in Play the Hits, just stuff has been going on with life.
Yep. I've pretty
It's
much been working like 60-hour weeks since
ugh.
February, which was cool.
It's still happening.
No, no. Now I'm
Uh,
now I'm in pretty good shape, but
all right,
for
good.
a while there it was pretty shitty.
Yeah, that seems to be. Wait, what? Sorry, I was like, they had pickleball
Yeah, we're
on
gonna
the
fucking play some
Titanic
pickle. Gonna tickle my pickle.
for a nickel.
Giggity. Actually, speaking of that,
Shit.
I do have a question for you, Max.
Yeah, what's up?
You dabble in medicine, yes?
Yeah, healthcare, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I need your honest opinion here, okay? For the last like 3 days, I think I pulled like
Uh-huh.
a muscle in the back of my neck, like back right side. Been
Uh,
treating it with some icy hot.
okay.
No surprises there.
Okay.
Um, but this evening, as I put icy hot on it, I then went to urinate,
Mm-hmm.
having not cleared my hands entirely of the icy hot.
Oh.
It came in contact with my penis. Am I gonna die?
Can we say penis and Play the Hits?
No, we just did.
No, it's just okay. Well, all
In your
bets are
medical
off.
opinion, am I gonna die?
No, dude, you're like superhuman now. Now you can like
Great.
you can like
It
last
feels like
forever.
death is coming.
It's a superpower to not feel
It's
anything out
fine.
there anymore.
Sparks, believe me, I know a lot about having a penis, and you're gonna be just fine. Uh,
Oh, shit. No, I think you're fine, dude. It's
okay.
but
It
yeah,
doesn't
that's
feel fine right now, but
no, yeah, that's uncomfortable. No, it's all good. It really, it's just like an anesthetic. So you can like wash it off, which I'm not going to tell you how to do that, but yeah, you're okay.
okay,
It's probably
cool,
just really
cool.
uncomfortable.
Not to be too personal, but did you wash it? Yes, vigorously. It still stings. It's unpleasant.
let's wait. Let's take a beat here. It's
This
like
is yeah,
let's talk about
this already took a left turn.
for the boys and other penis havers watching Play the Hits, just to educate on good foreskin care and you know just make sure I don't know
Yeah,
where I'm
play it
going.
safe, kids. Play it safe.
Play it safe. Yeah, no one
All the
likes
cool
that drop.
kids play the hits safe. By the way, this is the Titanic. In case that was lost on anybody,
Oh yeah, we're
we're
which it
exploring
might have
a
been.
very graphically pretty Unreal Engine 5 demo that's aimed at recreating the Titanic essentially as historically accurate as humanly possible, which is really cool. So I figured, one, since we haven't been regularly streaming in a little while, it might be kind of fun to do something different. But then two, this week was also the anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. So
Hmm.
what the hell? Here we are.
Yeah. That's so what we were trying to do this like 2 days ago, which was the actual anniversary, right?
Correct. Yeah. Well, the 14th, it hit the iceberg the night of the 14th at about a little bit before midnight, I think, but actually sank like 2 a.m. or so on the 15th.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, well, too bad we couldn't do like an extended stream where we would be counting down the hours. It's like, and now
Yeah.
that
Right.
the last of third
And now
class is
everyone's dying.
drowned.
Now, because this is a demo and really just meant to show off the horsepower of the Unreal 5 engine and just kind of serve as a, this really isn't a game. Truly, it's kind of an interactive historical.
No,
It's meant to be like a digital museum.
you're
For like,
definitely one of the people who died on the Titanic, and this is purgatory.
Yeah, right. This is
story.
purgatory. You
It's
enter
just,
the ship. It's dead silent.
there's no one else here. Oh, you need to figure
You were a
out
really bad person who died on the
what,
Titanic, and this is just what
what
you have
you
to deal with.
did. You know what you did,
You
and
know
now
what you did.
their penance needs to be made.
You started Play the Hits, and now this is what you get.
But no, I mean, you were showing me this yesterday when we were trying to, make sure there was no more fuckery with OBS and stuff. Well, I guess OBS didn't have any fuckery; it was Streamlabs. But yeah, and we were kind of like just going on about fucking Unreal Engine 5 and how good this thing looks, and you're streaming it over to me, and I don't really see the texture and stuff, but I see all the
There's
lighting.
some texture.
And yeah, and the HDR too. I'm watching this on an HDR screen, and like some of the things with the reflect. Oh my god! Like
Yeah, I know. Well, like again, what I'm really appreciating about the Unreal 5 engine, from admittedly what little I've seen of it outside of this exact demo, is just how kind of fool the eye some of it is, especially like if you get it at the right angle or the right distance. Where if you showed somebody this, you're like, oh, it's like a colorized photo of a first-class cabin or something like that.
Mhm.
Or, oh, it's
And
like the set of a movie or something. It's
it's
pretty
really like
nuts.
the shadows for me, that it's just like, I know with ray tracing and stuff, things have been looking really good for a while, but there is something when it comes to the, what do you call it? The path tracing, where it's just like, I don't know, you kind of forget, like, oh yeah, your eyes still kind of know the difference for most of these things. And then when it gets this good, it's just like, okay, yeah, you are getting tricked a little bit.
Yeah.
That there's, I guess the tech can still, there's still something to, we're obviously getting diminishing returns on, what these humongous GPUs can do, but
Oh yeah.
there's still a ways to go.
Yeah, I was gonna say that this is probably the first time that the Unreal 5 engine is probably the first time in probably since maybe the PS4 or so where I've really felt the generational leap has been pretty significant.
Yeah. No, this is
I mean, like you can almost smell the rich people doing it here.
It's just I don't know how to explain, how the physics engine works or anything, or what light actually does. It's just my brain and my eyes can tell the difference.
Yeah, but like, this is
more
it,
realistic.
Right?
Yeah, it's something, I don't know, just how light diffuses, how certain things, like there's the reflections, but then there's also like how shadows kind of hit in a bright room versus like less bright areas where it's just like less of a shadow.
Or like, when we're in those kind of metal corridors like this, just like how the light bounces from wall to wall.
Yeah, and it's almost like stills of this. You can put it next to stills of like something that isn't path tracing, and it's like maybe the like regular ray tracing is more striking in a picture.
Yeah.
But in motion, you can tell like this one's just so much more realistic.
Right.
It's just like, it's not about making the best looking picture. It's about moving through it and being like, oh shit, this is like just how light works,
Yeah,
and
right.
It's kind of crazy. Like there is something to be said about the artistry of faking reflections and faking
totally
how things look. I mean, Nintendo's been doing that forever. I mean, look at like GameCube and Wii games where it's just like, that water looks so cool,
Yeah. I mean, but like you look at some of the best water effects in gaming history. Mario Sunshine is still right fucking
seriously. Yeah, it's all just smoke and mirrors, and I respect
like
that,
the fluidity of it, though. I mean, they made some kind of pact with the devil, and it looks great to this day. But
nowadays with these GPUs, it's like it's there's the artistry, and then there's like, okay, it's not about making something to fool you. It's just about power and having physics do its thing. Like this is just how particles work, how light works. And we're going to let this computer now just like recreate what happens in the physical world. And that is really nuts to me. Like
it is.
I don't know. I think we touched upon
like with Unreal 5, which let's face it, most games that come out are probably going to take advantage of it. It's going to be sort of standardized across gaming. This will become the norm rather than the exception, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think we've seen maybe a couple things, and they're not taking, full advantage of it yet. But actually, now that I think about it, no, the Demon Souls remake on PS5, like that game looks good. I don't think it's Unreal 5 because
I
that was
don't
also
think
like
so. No,
it
I
was a
think it's
launch
got its
title.
own
Because you think
thing.
about when this started coming out, like developers
Got
probably
Dark
only had their
Souls.
hands on it for, maybe a year or so before we heard about it. So it's like only the past, what, year and a half or so? I'm trying to think like what games use Unreal 5. Um,
I
and
think
a lot
so
of it,
far a lot of the ones that do don't quite use it to this effect just yet.
oh, for sure.
I think well, I mean, I think a lot of them use kind of a stylized version of it, or they use like tools from it.
Yeah. And you can also just like,
I could be wrong.
pare things back a bit and be like, and
Yeah,
when you think about what the PS5 can handle, it's just like, oh, 4K is the ideal, but and up to 60 frames a second. But
right.
your 4090 obviously is handling this,
Yeah,
well.
like not a dip in the frame rate, which is
Oh,
really
speaking of,
nice.
because you're seeing this on your TV, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you
Or
playing
actually,
in
no, I'm
4K?
seeing it on my monitor
Okay.
through OBS.
Okay, so 2K. You're is what you're playing with?
Actually, in order to kind of preserve the health of my graphics and processor, I'm still streaming at 1080p.
Okay. Oh yeah, streaming. Yeah, that makes sense. Alrighty.
One, because like we're not a professional channel by any stretch. Like if we started streaming in 4K, I would have to buy like a whole bunch of external hard drives just to
Oh
store
my
our
gosh.
videos, and
Yeah.
yeah. So we're
And the thing
play the hits to
is,
stay in 1080p for a while.
oh yeah. And we've talked about this, like the jump to 2K like in gaming is still very significant.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad that 2K was never advertised. It was like 1080p and then it's just like, but now we have 4K
Yeah,
and
right. Like I feel
that
like we
started like,
just bypassed 1440p altogether.
yeah, and to our detriment, like it's been over 10 years since 4K's been like the new hotness,
Yeah.
and we still can't consistently get like 4K and 60
No, but
FPS.
1440p runs like butter, and it
Yeah,
looks noticeably better than 1080.
yeah.
It's crazy.
So for me, people saying, "Oh, 4K and 60 FPS should be the standard on my consoles," I'm like, maybe 2K 60
Right.
FPS. Like I'm cool with that, but 4K is like only margin. Like 2K looks so much better than 1080p, and
Right.
4K looks better than that, but not. It's not a huge leap.
Yeah,
It's
not
not
so
like the
much that
leap
I,
to 2K.
would willingly sacrifice the extra frames.
No, for sure. And like, I mean, I have the 3070 and most games I'm not playing, even though I play on my big TV, I'm not playing most games at 4K. Like it's very rare, maybe an older game where it's just like, okay, it actually can handle the bump, but it barely looks any better than, and especially older games that maybe they're upscaled, but they weren't like native 4K. Um it's really doesn't look that much better. So, and you
Yeah.
save so much power doing 2K, So, but I was wondering like if you were running this at 4K because, that's a big load, but like the path tracing is so
I mean, I
intensive
could.
that you probably could.
Totally
But
could
does
if I
this
wanted to.
if you go to the options for this, are you using like what is that? The DLSS
No, actually
3?
this demo does not have it.
Okay, so you're just raw dogging
Yeah,
it.
I'm raw dogging it. That's why my
No,
fans are working as hard as they are.
gotcha,
And why
gotcha.
the
Okay,
room has gone up about 5 degrees in temperature since we started playing this.
because I've heard like Cyberpunk, something that has like the crazy melt your processor and GPU mode with
Yeah.
the path tracing. Even the 4090, and there's like Threadrippers and all this other stuff that professionals use, like Pixar and shit. But a 4090 running that at 4K, it caps out at about like 16 to 20 frames per second without the
Hmm.
DLSS. So it's like, in the DLSS, it still looks amazing. Like,
Yeah,
why not turn it on?
people say DLSS is like it's cheating and you get some like blurriness. I haven't noticed any blurriness. Like
No one notices
maybe
it in
I'm just,
animation.
a troglodyte, but
No,
my
no. If
my
you
heathen eyes do not perceive the difference that everybody is so up in arms about. Like, give me DLSS every day, because that makes Cyberpunk run at max settings at 4K.
Dude, DLSS
with like 120 frames per second. It's insane.
It's like fucking magic.
It's
like seriously it's AI learning magic. To be like, we're and going
anyone
to...
who claims to you that they like just can't get over the difference, they are full of shit.
They are full of shit. You got to like take a side by side and blow them up to 70 inches or something. And still, not even in motion. You can't notice it in motion. I call BS on anyone who says they can. Yeah. You have to take a still of that and look at them.
Absolutely. And like you have to go frame by frame to like really tell the difference. It's people are stupid and they'll find a reason to complain about anything.
Oh, for sure. And I think the AI, I mean, it's only gonna like it's already gone from 3 versions of it. Basically, it's only going to get better to the point where no one can tell the difference even in a still, because our processor, our our GPUs are already powerful enough to get them most of the image there.
Yeah.
And so it's just like the AI and everything, and I'm no expert, but as far as like approximating, what it needs to fill in, like, I don't know. I feel like it's most of the work is already being done. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I don't know. I kind of feel like where we're at right now, you're just not gonna notice any kind of a difference.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, this is purdy.
I know, man.
Basically, what I'm trying to say.
I'm so excited. Like we were talking about yesterday, I'm really excited for when some like really budget heavy AAA studios start throwing their weight around with this engine, and we see things like, well, for instance, like FF7 Remake, which uses the Unreal 4 engine to really good effect.
Yeah.
But like studios like that running away with Unreal 5, and we start seeing some like epic fantasy games or kind of like some kaiju whatever. That would be awesome to me.
Yeah. And then also
get down to like the boiler room and shit. I don't know where I am.
Yeah, you were saying the other day, like getting to like more of the what do you call it? Not servants, but the workers areas, that it's more like metal walls and everything, so it's a little bit more of a
like it's more than just than just kind of like the cabins and the deck. It's they've really done a lot of research heavy, like meticulous recrafting of this ship.
Yeah. Like, and of course I've been talking to you, so a little distracted, but I am 100% lost. Like this.
Yep. Same.
Boat is huge.
Turns out the Titanic was kind of big.
It was big. It was,
why? Why they had to make it so big?
Why'd they name it the way they did?
We'll get down there though. We're only 15 minutes into the stream.
But yeah, it's, I don't know. It's like who, as far as like this project, you said, I don't know if it's a small team, if it's one person or.
I think it started with one person, but he might have like a couple of volunteers working with him. I'm not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm. And like where they kind of get the information. Something I didn't realize is that James Cameron himself actually, I guess he's to thank for a lot of our knowledge of the Titanic these days.
Yeah, like a shocking amount. Like director James Cameron is such an enthusiast that he pours money into research.
Yeah.
Which is really cool when you think about it.
And it was like at first to make the movie, crazy that what he did as far as like going down there in the vessel and everything, which you couldn't pay me enough money to do that.
Yep. Especially after the events of, the last couple months.
Oh yeah. I mean,
rest in peace, wealthy people.
Not really, but I'm sure he had actual experts and a good machine, and not just made out of paper mache
and a video game controller.
And a video game controller.
God, have you read like a little bit about that sub and like kind of the shady shit
the guy behind it? Yeah. I kind of, and it seems like he just got off on cutting corners as much as possible. Like, and for like, you don't have to. It's kind of like rich people who steal. It's just like,
it's just the thrill of it. Like, what can I get away with?
Yeah. And it's
yeah,
just like,
it seemed
dumb son of a bitch.
Dubious at best. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like one of the people who went down there was apparently like just a kid, right? Like a teenager.
Yeah, it was like
And so
19 or
that really
something.
sucks.
It does.
And you know, I don't know these people personally. I don't know if they were like the really shitty kind of billionaires or if they were just like, this is a once in a lifetime experience and I can afford it. And, you know, like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I've never had $1 billion, so I can't say what I would do with that kind of money if I had it. But
Yeah, I contend that there's pretty much no ethical billionaire, but
no, yeah,
because
I'm kind of in that
you
same boat.
inherit it, or no matter what, people have to suffer for any one person to have that much money.
Yeah.
But you do have better ones. I mean, Warren Buffett, blah blah blah, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
he's still
Or that lady who just
capitalist,
straight up gave her $1 billion away to that college in New York.
like the best one I can think of is like someone like Jeff Bezos' wife, which God, I do such a disservice by calling her Jeff Bezos'
Jeff
wife.
Bezos' wife, but you can't think of her name. Yeah.
I can't think of her name, but she basically divorced him, took half his money, and then she can't give it away fast enough.
I know, that's pretty awesome. And you
like,
know that's got to
what else
boil.
can you do?
Like, you know that's got to boil his blood too. So it's
Yeah,
kind of like
for
a
sure.
2 for 1. There's like the genuine good she's doing for humanity, but then 2, she's just sticking it to him, which
Yeah.
you know, granted, I only know him through the camera, but what I do know about him is all just like abusive employees and doing everything he can to hurt his fellow man to make
You
himself
just look at the worst of Amazon, and it's just like you see what he spends his money on. It's just like, I'm going to be in space, and I want to
like,
be
fuck you,
immortal.
dude.
And yeah, seriously.
Well,
It's just
like,
like, wow,
again,
this is...
it's one thing if like you have some valuable contribution and NASA's like, hey, we should really put Jeff Bezos in space. It's another thing like if you look at, you know, people starving to death in the wealthiest country in the world, and don't think that's as big of a priority as putting yourself in space.
Yeah, I think I would be the most miserable billionaire, because I would be like, if I can't save, like if I can't solve most of society's ills, like
Right.
not to be fucking Light Yagami or something, but
Yeah, seriously.
I just, yeah, I would try every day to like solve that shit, you know?
Side note real quick, was this a sex thing?
What is up with that?
Or is
That's
this just how
interesting.
rich people showered?
Is this the old person shower that you just, holding on to those things? I don't get it.
They all shoot water at your penis.
Oh my God. We've forgotten what luxury is, Chris.
We forgot. Something was lost when the Titanic went down.
Was lost that day.
The luxury of a penile bidet.
Dude, have you seen like old
body
gym,
shower.
like those videos of like women working out of the gym, and
Yeah,
really
and all it's doing
weird
is just
machines?
like rubbing their backs and
Yeah. And it's just like,
Just
this
vibrating
will
against them.
make you more plump for your sir. And it's like, what the fuck? What is this? But also it like looks like the future in a weird way, but like
Yeah, it is.
retro future. It's very interesting.
Okay, Scotland Road.
All right,
I
where
do
are
know
we
a
at
little bit
now?
about this. This is where like all the employees. These were like the back halls of Disney World, except on the
Okay, gotcha.
Titanic. It like allowed them to. They were like cruise quarters and allowed them to get like from point A to point B across the
Without
ship
being
super
seen.
fast.
It's smart.
And I
Cool.
also believe, and I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure they had the gates that could be lowered to essentially trap people in here in the event of a sinking so that they didn't take up precious lifeboat space.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm remembering that right, or maybe that's the third class.
They're just the help. I mean, that definitely was the case for the third class.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy how stark it was that it's just like, yeah, we can close. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, why are those gates there? I don't.
I mean, literally
I'm sure
because they
Didn't have
only
enough
built
space.
it with like enough lifeboats to cover half of the capacity, and so they made sure that the people that they wanted to live lived, and the people they needed to die died.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Again, I mean, it's I hate to say like or no, I hate to think like, oh, look how far we've come, because it's absolutely not true. But
No.
at the same time, though, when the Titanic went down, I think that was like the event that sparked, like, travel companies have to have enough life vessels for the maximum capacity of their ships.
Yeah. I mean, you think
Or
about
something
like
like
what
that.
what a disaster it was, and especially all this hype around it in the media, being like, "Yeah, it's unsinkable. You
Yeah,
know,
right.
this is it's going to be such a the maiden voyage is like such a big deal," and then
Hmm.
yeah, it's what a fucking disaster.
Oh yeah, I mean, and it really was like even ignoring the loss of life, which was substantial. Well, like
Yeah.
kind of what it represented was kind of the end of an era.
Yeah. It's I mean, there's a reason. It's not just like some novelty like, yeah, wasn't it weird the ship went down? Like they teach it in history books. And there's a reason. It's because it was a point in history that things
Oh.
changed and like
So
it
so
was
Sparks writes if she recalls correctly, they were actually supposed to have more lifeboats, so it may have been like, kind of a Jeff Bezos sort of decision to like not have them and just kind of grease the right palms and get away with it.
yeah.
Which also wouldn't surprise me, but actually,
Doesn't yeah.
as much as I'm kind of like fascinated by the Titanic, I'm hardly the best historian. Did you ever end
Oh
up
yeah.
looking up those random Titanic facts?
Oh, you know what? I have my phone right here, so
Sweet.
let's go back in my history.
Hit us with some
Um
knowledge, Max.
but yeah, these kind of things being so many people involved in it, I'm sure there was a lot that were trying to do the right thing and
Oh
other
yeah.
people who were like, we can cut some fucking corners.
Well, and
Uh,
also you think of all the stories that sprang up around the sinking of the Titanic. Like people know about the band who played until it went down, like to try to calm people down. There was like the priest who gave up his spot on the lifeboat to stay and
mhm,
like console the ones who were dying. And I mean,
jeez.
there's some like genuine like hero stories that came out of it. So you're right. There for as gaudy and you know, kind of 1%y as the story of its demise was, there was also some like really wonderful things that, I mean, not wonderful in that it's good that it happened, but like
Like
just the
showed the
fact
best
that
of
like
humanity.
goodness still prevailed in a lot of cases.
Yeah, you see a tragedy like this, you see, kind of it's cliche, but people's true colors, and there's people of character who
Yeah,
will sacrifice,
yeah,
because that's their values, and
right.
maybe it's like, hey, I can't live with myself if I,
Yeah.
just get out of here. I need to help people as much as I can. It's
Well, and that kind of brings me back to the
kind of an
point that
amazing thing.
you were making before, like talk about being the most like miserable billionaire if we had the money. Like, well, two things. I'll say the part that makes me sound good first, and then the part that brings me right back down to reality. Like all of my wildest fantasies of what I would do if I won like a 100 million or $1 billion lottery. It all has to do with like how I would like spoil my friends and family and like how I would donate to causes that I believe in. Like none
Yeah,
of it is like I mean, eventually, like, I'm like, oh, it'd be really cool to have like a house on the beach somewhere. But
yeah.
like, as far as blowing all of my money on real estate and like a private jet or something like that, that really doesn't honestly appeal to me in any way.
Yeah.
But then the other half of that is like, what would I do in like a sinking ship scenario? I'm gonna be honest and say I would like scramble for a fucking lifeboat because
Oh
drowning is
yeah.
a major phobia of mine.
Yeah, me too. And that would just be survival instincts
Yeah,
kicking
I don't
in,
think I
and
could
you shouldn't
control it
feel
at
bad
that
about
point.
that. You should. So yeah, as far as like
Like
the
I'd
story
probably
about the
go out of
priest,
my way to like help my fellow passengers to the lifeboats, but I'd be damn sure I had a seat.
yeah, I'm not gonna step over anyone, but at the same time, I am not sinking. Like
No,
there's no,
fuck that
I ain't
shit.
dying. No, fuck that.
Like
So I do have
if
some
it
facts here.
became immediately like apparent to me that for some whatever reason I wasn't getting on a lifeboat, I would like double back to the bar and like alcohol poison myself into oblivion as quickly as humanly possible.
Oh yeah, that's a good
That
idea.
that would be my that would be my backup. And I'm not trying to sound morbid. It's just like I've given thought about this. Essentially, every time I get on a plane or a boat, these thoughts creep into my head.
Oh
I'm like,
god,
okay, plan A,
sad.
survival. Plan B, quick, painless death.
I mean, you got the alcohol poisoning, and I wouldn't say painless necessarily, but at the same time, you're getting good and drunk along the way.
Yeah,
So at least it's
and
just
like
like,
hopefully
fuck,
like
man,
you
this is
black
crazy,
out,
dude.
and then like nature takes its course while you're
Yeah.
under.
maybe halfway through, you're kind of like, "Hey, did I imagine the sinking? Maybe someone's gonna come save us."
Yeah, all I have to do is swim towards that hole.
Okay, I got some facts here about the
Yeah,
Titanic.
factoids.
So the
Titanic, hit
ship,
me up.
the length of the Titanic was 269.1 meters, or 882 feet and 9 inches. Giggity. 825 tons. That was the amount of
Oh
coal
shit,
used per day.
that's a big old boat.
10,000 was the approximate number of lamp bulbs used on the ship, and now we're seeing a
The
lot of these
approximate number of
here.
what?
Lamp bulbs,
Lamp bulbs.
just
Oh, okay.
lights. Yeah, building it. The cost of building the RMS Titanic, $7,500,000, which in 1912 money, fuck,
Yeah,
must
hit
have
me
been a
up
lot.
here. I need to know how much that is in
You know what?
modern
Yeah,
money.
let's see.
By the way, I
7.5.
found the potato storage.
Nice.
Just this gate protecting 2 sacks of
Potatoes.
potatoes.
Who are you? Potato man.
Potato
Where
man.
the hell have you been? 7.5 million. I don't know, 1912 inflation.
Yeah,
No
that'll
idea.
get you somewhere.
Uh, here we go. Here we go. Well, 7 million in 1912 is worth 225,394,226
That makes a little more
today.
sense to me.
Okay, yeah. So about almost 240 million
Yeah.
or so.
And I'm
Cool.
sure today, by today's standards too, they would probably, like, if something like the Titanic were built today, they'd probably go even more over the top on it.
Yeah. The number of 2 is the number of workers killed during the build. 20, the horses needed to transport the main anchor. Fuck, dude.
Damn.
Food on the Titanic,
Potatoes.
14,000 potatoes. The gallons of drinking water used every 24 hours. 40,000, the number of fresh eggs in the ship's provisions. 1,000, the number of bottles of wine taken aboard. That seems really low
Yeah, it actually
for
kind of
some
does.
reason. The lifeboats, 64, the number of lifeboats the Titanic was equipped to carry. 20, the number of lifeboats she was actually carrying. 28, the number of people on board the first lifeboat, which had a capacity of 65 people. What? Why?
Yeah.
Those must have been
Right?
like the super rich people. It's like, I don't want to share a lifeboat with those
Honestly, though,
common
you're
richers.
100% on the money. Like, that's
Yeah.
just kind of how their world worked, and it was crazy. I mean,
Ugh.
it's not quite as overt, but it's still the way our world works today. But by the way, I'm pausing right here because we've just unlocked Chris Beck phobia number 2,
What's
which
that?
is this fucking cabin.
Okay.
I would rather sleep out on a bench, like in one of these hallways, than I would in this kind of a confined space. It would
Oh
feel
yeah.
like a
Well,
coffin to
I
me.
wonder. Wait. Go back in there. Is the ceiling? Are those rooms connected?
I believe
Is
so,
that what's
yeah.
going on? Okay. See, that's not so bad for me. You know that
It's
it's
still
like,
pretty bad for me. Like it
yeah.
feels like
Okay.
like bottom bunk, top
Yeah.
bunk, maybe I could make it work, but I'd still feel pretty.
See, I kind of like enclosed spaces. I mean, that was like when I was the kid that like slept in the closet sometimes. I liked that. Small bathrooms are totally fine for me, but at the same time, I don't know, mixing the whole we're out in the middle of the ocean, if that would kind
Yeah,
of
right. Make it more
suddenly
creepy.
the claustrophobia buried deep in my
Yeah.
caveman psyche would rear its ugly head.
You know, the funny thing is that I never really used to be super claustrophobic.
Yeah.
I don't quite know what changed. Maybe it's because I got fatter. But like for whatever reason, like when I see videos of like people doing like cave diving or something, like I can feel like the sweat forming on my brow.
I mean, if you're on a ship though, it's like you'd float a bit better with all the
Yeah.
extra blubber. Uh, I'm looking at the survivors. Fuck, dude. 31.6, the total percentage of passengers and crew who survived. Like,
Oh man.
that's terrible.
That's really
53.4%,
fucking shitty. Yeah.
the percentage who could have survived given the number of spaces available on the lifeboats, the lesser number of lifeboats that they already had. Oh. 2, the number of dogs who survived. Lap
Damn
dogs
right.
taken aboard lifeboats by their owners. And let's see. 6,000, the approximate number of artifacts that have been recovered from the wreck site. Okay. Alrighty. There's some Titanic facts.
Thank you.
I want to know, let's see. I want to know more about the ship itself. So
Yes, please.
these all have
I swear to God,
like,
I'm finding the
read
boiler
more.
room before this episode is over.
175 feet, the height of the Titanic from the top of the funnels to the keel. How many rooms? There were 840 staterooms in all, 416 in first class, 162 in second class, and 262 in third class. Oh.
I guess when you consider like the disparity there, like it's probably because like the second and third class ones probably all housed like 4 to 6 people at least.
Yeah. And it's like it was a luxury liner, so
Yeah,
I feel
true.
like
even like the poorer people on it still had more means available to them than your average person for the time.
Yeah.
Or they were like Leonardo DiCaprio and they won a lucky poker game.
Holy shit. 100 tons was the approximate amount of ash that was dumped from Titanic into the sea each day. We really fuck up this planet that we're living
Yeah, man,
on.
we just don't give a fuck.
We don't give a shit.
We don't give a shit about nobody. America. I guess Great Britain, but also America.
Great Britain, but America.
Britain. America.
Oh.
Hey, I found a pineapple.
Oh, shit. That's the swingers table
like,
right there.
Here again,
I guess
kind
it
of
has
that
to be upside
fool the
down.
eye sort of thing. Like, you look at the silverware arrangements, and like from this distance, you think, wow, that just looks spot on, right? Furniture and cutlery and glasses. But now kind of the funny thing is though, when you do like hyper zoom, like look, the spoons are actually kind of low poly and everything. It's literally the fidelity of it all comes out of the lighting and like the way that they just reflect in the environment. Like your brain just doesn't care that, you know, no spoon has, you know, sharp edges like that.
Yeah. Like we were talking about the other day, it's like that's why the smoke and mirrors work so well for a lot of games. Is like something like Breath of the Wild, which is such a humongous world and yet is only like 12 or 16 gigs or not even.
Yeah.
Is because when you're far away from like a tree line, they're just made up of like 3 pixels of green. And they're like, we'll just shape it this way and it'll look like you know, we'll use some Bob Ross tricks. And yeah, there's a fucking tree line.
Bob Ross it.
It's a happy little tree. Oh, yeah, he's getting closer. We got to
Okay,
render.
I finally made my way into third class, which I'm pretty sure from here I'll be able to start finding like the boiler room
fucking
and shit.
Scum. All right. Let's hit the poker tables. So is this still like the what do you call it, corridors?
No, this is just straight up third class.
This is just third class. Okay.
Yeah. They just did not have as nice of a time on the Titanic as the rich people.
That is just like, don't remember to make it shitty.
They need to feel like they're in prison.
They need to feel like they're lesser than us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. Did you just like teleport
I'm still
back?
way too high up.
Or no, you went through a door.
I did.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy. That's really weird to think about. Like, I don't know. I thought you'd be like in the bowels of the ship at this point, like that you couldn't actually go through a door and be outside.
Yeah, no, I think lower decks were always like steerage and like boiler rooms and stuff like that. But I think this is about as low as you could get, but still have deck access.
Okay, interesting. So they really had to just like lock some doors and stuff too, maybe.
Yeah, basically just make sure that these poor people died. And yeah, here you go. It's kind of those.
There we go. Yeah,
bulkheads.
There we are.
There's the we're back to the potatoes.
Potatoes. God damn it.
Potatoes again.
So talking about like how GPUs can basically just like make physics happen at this point. It kind of takes me to the discussion we were having the other day of you know, hearing about these crazy theories of like we might be living in a simulation, you know, Matrix style or something. And that's always been like a fun exercise. Like, oh yeah, like you hear about stuff like, hey, there's infinite universes and all these things. So, haha, maybe it could theoretically be true, um, but not really. I don't know. Like in my head, it's just like, yeah, but as a really as only as like a theory. I can't really think about how that could possibly be true. But now
Yeah.
seeing this
It
and
doesn't seem
knowing
that
that
far off, does it?
yeah, we have computers, we have these graphics cards and systems that can just recreate the laws of our universe, basically.
Yeah,
This
pretty much.
the facsimile that we're seeing like on a screen, sure, but it's the amount of power that has to go into that to make that happen is kind of crazy, And it's kind of just like, oh shit, like I mean, who's to know if we aren't just like little bytes and stuff inside of a system? Like, how the fuck would we know? I don't know.
Yeah.
And and you think about like we were talking about rendering, like rendering a tree line in Breath of the Wild or something. It's like maybe that's why you got like physics, and the physics that we learn as kids and stuff is not like real physics. It's like, hey, this is how we thought it worked. What do you call that? Newtonian physics. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
and then it's just like Einstein's time and before Einstein, it's just like, well, on the macro level and micro level, physics falls apart. It doesn't really work anymore. So we had to come up with like quantum mechanics and stuff to like explain that, like
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. And it's like, well, I mean, is that because they didn't expect us to like see on the microscopic level and build a Hubble telescope and see that far out? And it's just like we don't need to process this shit. Just process the galaxy they're in. Don't worry about it. They're not gonna go beyond the boundaries.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so I think about that, and it's just like, ah, fuck, this is wrinkling my brain. Like,
Yeah. Seriously.
physics falls apart because the GPU isn't really working on it. The universe GPU,
Parks, I'm
whatever.
sorry. What? Physics don't work? Don't think too
Physics
hard
don't.
about it.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, you'll
This ship is fucking bullshit, man.
this is
This
this
is
ship is
pretty
like
different.
life. It's all bullshit.
This is running through the tank. This is
Wake up,
bullshit.
sheeple.
Why can't I get to the goddamn engine room?
Oh shit. Yeah, Sparks. You think too hard about it, you'll wake up in your Matrix vat. You'll
Yeah. Right.
actually you saw the Animatrix back in the day.
Oh yeah, dude. I
I mean, that
loved the
was fucking
Animatrix.
great little stories. I love that. But I think my
Which one
favorite
was your
story
favorite?
from it, my favorite one is the runner,
The
where
Runner.
he was like an Olympic runner or something, and he was about to break the world
Okay.
record for
Yep. I
like the
remember that
50
one.
meter sprint, and he pushed himself so hard that for a split second he broke out of the matrix,
Right.
and it freaked him the fuck out, and he
Yep.
tripped over himself and injured himself. But he kept thinking about it, and he started to like deduce what life was and what was going on, and
Yeah.
he's like, fuck
Okay. I
this. And
remember that.
yeah, that was a cool story. It's just like, okay, rare as it is, people who are like breaking the limits, and again, kind of going into what I was talking about, it's just like
Yeah.
no one
It's like
can
going
run this
outside of
fast.
the frame boxes in video games. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
And
like in
then you
Skyrim, if you
see,
if you jump your horse against the mountain enough, eventually you'll clip through it.
yeah, I always thought that would be a fun game, that like a game inside of a game, but most people don't see the second game, you
Yeah.
know? It's like if someone made a Mario 64 type clone, and it's just like, a cool game. It's a solid platformer, kind of lighthearted, but if you like speed run it or something, then all of a sudden you see that you're like a brain inside of a vat or something like that.
That's awesome.
That would be fun.
That would be.
Yeah, get on it, Nintendo.
Yeah, come on, Nintendo.
uh,
So I
you
know we can
got
get to the
you got the
crow's
ash there.
nest. Maybe if I
Oh, can
start
you
like
make it up to
aiming
the
for that.
lookout there? Can you like climb ladders and stuff?
Nope.
Oh
No, you can't.
shit!
Wait, unless no. No, you can't.
Fuck. Is this some Twilight Zone shit? You don't have hands in purgatory either.
Yeah, right.
You're
All right, so
just
now we're
going
back in
around
first
like,
class. We're gonna start working our way down first class, but staying towards the bow.
okay, damn.
I think that's the way to go.
This is one of their rooms compared to the claustrophobic nightmare we were just in.
Yeah, right.
I like the idea of you going around just like shoulders, like fucking Piccolo after he takes any kind of a hit in Dragon Ball. Where are my fucking arms?
In arms. Oh man.
Just yeah, this room is like this is what I think of when I think of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what's our goal here? You trying to
Okay,
get
there's the
as
bow.
low as you can?
Well, so getting as low as I could didn't work for me originally. I think I'm gonna try to stick to the bow and see what doors are available to me here.
Okay, gotcha.
So I think if I can like weave back into like the crew area. I should have played this a bit more beforehand. That's all right.
You got to buy the DLC.
Yeah, right. You know, I kind of wonder
The
like
key.
where they're gonna go with like. I know this is an early access thing. I kind of wonder where they'll go with like the finished product. Like if within the museum experience, like you could have sort of virtual tour guides who kind of like take
Oh
you
yeah,
around and explain things.
that's a good. That would be really cool.
That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah. Is that a lift? I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
but I don't think it works.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, stuff like that. I can see them doing that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the goddamn boiler room? Where the
Some
fuck
of these
is it?
hallways are pretty thin, though.
What's that?
Some of these hallways are
Yeah, I
like a
know.
store in Chinatown or
People were just
something.
thinner then.
This is
People just
normal.
had less to eat. You know? Have you ever watched the food that built America?
No, you've told me about it before, though.
It's really good. You should watch a couple episodes at least. It's kind of crazy to think about, like when some of the products that are like best known today, like I don't know, like Coca-Cola or Heinz, got their start. Like even like in more affluent parts of the country, like meat, like unspoiled meat was a real luxury,
Yeah.
and like Heinz ketchup was invented to mask the taste of meat that was starting to go bad.
Ooh, wow. Also, wow, I didn't think Heinz was an American company for some reason. I thought
Oh
it
yeah,
was
Pennsylvania,
British.
baby.
Oh, okay.
Pittsburgh.
Cool. Good to know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, and I think I gave you like the example of like Harlan Sanders, you know, Colonel Sanders, how
Yeah.
he got his start like as a traveling salesman. He like owned a gas station and would like get into turf wars with his competitors and like actually shoot at them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I've completely disoriented myself again.
Uh, it's getting a little darker down here.
Yeah. Yeah. This must be.
Now, once again, you're just lowering yourself
Yep. Wait,
into the
post
bowels
office.
of
Have we
this
been to
room.
the post office yet?
Oh, yeah, we have.
We have. This is actually close to where we started, so. But this is like cruise quarters, right? Like normal passengers didn't make their
You're
way
just
down
gonna
here.
come across a bunch of potatoes.
The whole
It's like
fucking
no.
load of potatoes. Oh, God damn it. You know, if they made this multiplayer, this could make for like a really fun like hide and seek simulator.
Oh yeah, that would be. Have you seen some of the I think we talked about the Mario Odyssey multiplayer. That's a thing people do sometimes. It's like let's play
Wait,
hide and
really?
seek,
No,
like
I
New
haven't heard
Donk
of that
City.
actually.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I haven't
Sounds
played it,
pretty
but
damn cool.
there are some things I'm seeing like some let's plays and stuff that it's just like, oh shit, we got to do this sometime. Like, yeah, let's do a multiplayer Mario Odyssey. Do some fucking hide and seek.
Nice.
Um, apparently there's like
Oh
multiplayer for
shoot.
Mario
Hope everything's good,
64.
Sparks. She has to scoot for a friend emergency. Hope things
Oh,
good.
okay. Good luck. Yeah, hope that's okay.
Yeah. Actually, on
Um,
that same note, though, I was thinking like a project that we need to do real soon is Mario Wonder. We've been sleeping on that one.
oh yeah, Mario One. You know what? I still got to beat that. Actually,
Really?
that was a whole thing. Yeah, that's I was like blasting through it. That was a me and Addy game, and then we made we made a deal that because some of the stages you get the Wonder Seed and it's just like really trippy.
Yeah, right.
And she made an offhand comment of like, we should do this while we're eating sandwiches, which is a code for, something else.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, yeah, we should do that. And we just haven't got around to it. And I'm like already in World 7. So it's just
Oh,
like,
so
oh
you're
shit.
right there at the end.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm holding off on beating it because we gotta think of a date sometime.
Well,
where
you
we're
know what
eating
they say.
sandwiches.
Once you beat a Mario game, you never replay it again.
Yeah, totally. Oh, you were the one
God.
telling me the other day that fucking was that you talking about Super Mario World and how it's
Pickleball.
just like pickleball.
Sorry, go on.
It's like your very specific Tourette's. Um, that it's just like one of the cornerstone games. I mean, for my childhood, for sure, my favorite, probably still my favorite Mario game. Easily my favorite 2D Mario game. And the fact that it was like 500 kilobytes or something.
Oh, Mario World, yeah.
Yeah.
512 kilobytes. That is
Yeah, it was you. That's
so
right.
crazy to
It
think
is.
about.
It's nuts.
How the fuck did they do that?
You hear about like in the NES, it's like, oh, to save memory, they made the clouds and the bushes the same thing, just a different color.
Yep.
And it's like they're still doing that shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's
And
not as
smart
extreme.
developers will always do that. They'll find a way to get like the absolute most they can out of whatever
Yeah.
graphical engine they're working with, because that's where you get like the really memorable experiences, not by like raw horsepower, but like who can get the most creative with the limited toolbox that they have in front of them.
And that's the thing is like I feel like a perfect game is something that you do have more horsepower and you still push yourself to be really creative, Like I would never say purposefully limit yourself, when it comes to a tool set, but necessity is the mother of invention. And
Yeah,
you
that's
think about
exactly right.
Nintendo games, that are some of the most creative games, and then you hear about the process of making these games, and it's like, oh shit, they kind of didn't have a choice sometimes. They're
Yeah.
like, we're
Oh,
okay.
totally.
And they come up with like the craziest shit because of that. It's I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, homie. Yeah, no,
I
fuck
hear
this
that
room
dog. No, yeah, this is like with the entryway and everything. No, this is. I feel like I could put my hands on each wall of this room.
Yep,
Like,
and you
it's
totally could.
really too small.
I would much rather sleep in here than that room. Somehow I don't think we're going to make our way to the engine room, Max.
I don't think so. I don't think you're supposed to. I mean, well, that's how you get out of purgatory.
Why don't I
Just got to make it to the engine. You got to stop this thing before it
You
hits
gotta
the
stop this
iceberg.
thing before it hits the iceberg.
You know what's going to happen. You had some Final Destination revealed to you, and it's just like I could have stopped this ship. Only I could do it.
Dude, so on the
But
exact
you can never make
opposite
it
end of the
there,
spectrum,
like a dream.
Right.
You keep making it back to first class for some reason in your posh quarters. Like no,
oh,
God.
oh, you're like throwing decanters against the wall and like freaking out. Oh, God.
What were you gonna say?
On the exact opposite end of the spectrum, one game that's just kind of one of those weird time capsule games from my childhood that I have really fond memories of. We've got to play Titanic Adventure Out of Time at some point.
You were. I still don't remember what. I need to look this up or something because I don't remember this
It's
game.
great.
At least the
it
name
came
of
out
it.
in the 90s, and it's like you're a passenger on the Titanic, and you've been like hired to, I don't know, solve some kind of mystery. I forget what it was all about.
Mhm.
But yeah, the game like operates in real time, so like you can literally just like sit in your cabin and eventually the ship will sink.
Oh shit, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it is. But
That's
against
some
that
Majora's
like
Mask
4-hour time frame that you have, you can actually solve the whole mystery. And the gimmick of it is that there are all these characters that you can interact with to like get clues and everything. It's kind of like a Monkey Island sort of experience.
That's cool.
But they finally. But they
oh shit. Okay, cool.
They were all captured with like real actors, but of course it was 1995 or 6 or something like that, so they didn't have like enough money or memory to do like everything is like a full FMV. Yeah, this is crazy to think about the engineering that went into this.
Yeah.
But so So what they did instead was they took like individual photographs of like all of their facial expressions and them talking and everything. And so that's like what it looks like. It's like an episode of Gumby. You know, it's hilarious to watch them move around and like talk to you, and the acting is kind of like 90s ham-fisted cheese.
Yeah.
but it's good. It's a lot of fun.
Okay. All right. Do you think you'd be able to find that? Like
It's
some of
on
those
Steam.
old PC games.
It's
Oh,
on
really?
Steam.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But like Steam has a whole bunch of like old treasures that they've just, you know, hired somebody to make work on modern hardware.
Oh, that's cool.
But like for
Yeah,
instance,
there's like a
Shadows
lot
of the
Sierra
Empire.
games I would
Of all
like to.
things.
Oh, the N64 game?
Yeah, Shadows of the Empire is on Steam, and it's not just like a straight port. They actually made it work. It's not a remaster, but they did make it work in widescreen. So like you can technically run that game in like 1080p.
Interesting. That's
Yeah,
cool.
and I've got it.
Nice. All right, man. That game was like that was one of the rare games that was like $70 when it was just like you were not paying $70 for most of these games.
Yeah.
But it was crazy because it was Star Wars and it
I
had
know,
like
and
the
like you
Star
could
Wars
actually
music
play the Battle of Hoth. That
from
was
the
so
movies.
wild.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
How many
Yeah, but
people
fuck
like
Boba
died
Fett.
before the ship even sank by just going up and down these steps? I mean, fuck this, right?
Yeah, right. Woo.
Anyways.
Just boost it up there. Woo.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh god, I'm too fat to fit this.
Do
I could not
limit
work on the
yourself
Titanic.
in the game world.
Sorry, you were saying
What was I saying? Something about video games.
video
Probably.
games.
We were saying the other day. There's a lot of games. You have the list of games we're gonna have to play on Play the Hits at some point, and yeah, there's a lot of things that we're talking about that we have not even touched on. On this channel. So you'll never stop. Play the hits.
Never stop.
Have no fear. We'll got games for years like
Max
Jumpin'
becomes a
Chinese
robot.
Demons.
All right. Well, Max, let's get back up to the deck, which apparently is really easy to do.
Is it?
Getting below deck is super hard.
Ugh.
But any
Actually-
chump can find their way. Oh God. No.
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 Not fair.
It's not fair.
Wait, have you ever been in there? What was that room? Oh wait, yeah, that was just the loading screen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Those loading screens confused me. I'm like, what?
No, see, this is what I was looking for the whole time. There we go.
Christ.
Here, this is where we're gonna end it. Fuck. Finally, we
Hey,
made it to the crow's nest.
you did it.
Iceberg,
All right,
right
that was
to the
good
head.
timing. That's actually really good timing because it's like, yeah, you were looking for that, and now I just have to shit so badly. All of a
Sweet.
sudden,
I hope you do.
I will
I will. Son.
very soon here.
Very soon. It'll all be over soon. All right, Max. Well, yeah, we've got some fun projects coming up. We haven't done an episode of something else in probably like 2 years, so this was fun.
Jeez, really? When was the last thing we did?
Shit, I'd have to look it up. I think we might have just done something stupid like explore like the Steam Autumn Sale or something like that.
Oh, we did do stuff like that, yeah. And then there was also like playing on the Genesis Mini and stuff.
Oh, during the presidential debate when, you know, Trump was still participating in presidential debates.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh shit. What a world.
Yeah. Probably a
All right,
smart
buddy.
move on his part, honestly, to just he already has dumbos that are just gonna vote for him no matter what. So
Yep.
yeah.
No, literally no matter what. Like doesn't
no
fucking
matter
matter.
what. Dictator, sure. Kill someone on Fifth Avenue, all right, cool.
Yep.
All right.
So,
Well,
so,
I
so
gotta
side note,
Oh, what's up?
before we finish, slightly new phobia unlocked.
What?
I don't think I'll ever be going across the ocean on a boat.
No?
No, I mean,
Okay.
it looks
See,
cool, but
I would love to see the stars at night.
Yeah, I bet that'd be
in the
pretty
middle
neat.
of the ocean. That
But,
would
I
be
mean,
cool.
I imagine this is exactly what it looks like and
Yeah.
it kind of freaks me out just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, I mean, I can kind of get it where it's just like, okay, I want to go home now.
Yeah.
That is not going to be possible for a long time.
Right.
There's just like impossible to have comfort anytime soon.
Yep.
Is like, yeah.
And
So,
did I ever tell you about that random ass nightmare I had? Like when I was a kid and playing through FF7, where like I was on the boat going from Junon to Costa del Sol, and like I looked over the edge and like below me was like Emerald Weapon, like just below the surface of the water.
Oh, dude. No, but I've had dreams like that too. And like, yeah,
shit.
deep ocean stuff. I mean, even just literally the game, Emerald Weapon still freaks me out just playing that game. Because you didn't expect it at all.
He's fucking down there. Waiting.
He's still down there to this day.
Yep. And I'm kind of curious in like the third part of the FF7 remake, like what they'll do with that.
Oh my god.
That'll be freaky.
I still think about, it's like Emerald Weapon is one of the scariest things in games to me. It really is. Like the fight itself is scary, sure, but it's just the fact that early on you see that thing and then it's just like, what is that? Oh, it's literally a fight. Oh, this thing
God.
wrecked my shit. Yeah. Yeah, Emerald Weapon's terrifying.
Yep. All right, buddy. Well, next time on Play the Hits,
we fucking kill Emerald Weapon.
We're gonna fucking kill Emerald Weapon.
we kill the Emerald Weapon that is in all of our souls together.
That's right. We'll see you then.
See you then.